Are you there, Michelle?
I'm here.
Oh, God, are you? Be still my heart. I was worried for a second. I didn't hurt nobody on there, and I was longing for you, boy.
I'm here. I'm always here.
Oh, for me, I appreciate that. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. You know, a lot of the fans have been demand that I have you on, and it's finally happened here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited we finally got together to do this.
Yeah, I feel like we've been somehow the fate has kept us apart. We was waiting for, we met each other back in Chicago. You remember that fateful day?
Yeah, I do remember. We're at some fights with my husband.
Oh, is that who that? Yes. You know what? In my memory, I had forgot that you was with somebody there. For some reason, I just see you surrounded by light, and you have like a skin tight black dress and heels and something like that. And then somehow I'm blanking on a gentleman there, but.
Blanking on everything else, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why. I maybe it's selective memories.
Yeah.
But Carayo, I mean, what an exciting time. You know, before I saw you, you was kind of famous, but now it seemed like, you got yourself 1 million followers on Instagram. You just won the big fight of your life for the title shot. You're on a high hole right now. You're hiding high.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, I kind of just decided to go for it and to not worry about all the outside noise, and I think that helps, just go out there and do what I love, and I think when you do that, then you're able to enjoy the success a lot more.
God, I too like to do what I love. Love can be important.
Always.
Between two people that love each other very much. So yeah, I mean, so when you say that you're doing with what you love, and that you're not dealing with the outside force, what kind of stuff is you talking about? Paying attention to that, to the outside stuff.
Just the world can be a cruel place, especially if you allow it to bother you. The outside noise of and just the ease of the sway that people can go in your fight career. In fighting, it's just there are only two options: win or lose. So even if it's a good fight, like people are still like, oh well, you lost. And they there's a lot of people that have no problem bashing you when you're down, especially in the fight game. And
this is true. So you mean when you say the outside noise, you're talking about people's perception of you, like, oh well, the Karate Hottie, she's cute and everything, but she's on a whatever losing streak, and she's never gonna win a title. So you mean you're talking about the haters, basically?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, your Uncle Renato know about haters, They hate us because they ain't us. And
they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, and us. Imagine us. God, we finally did it, didn't we? Yeah, I feel like sometimes the outside noise can be a heel drag, The outside noise of also having a kids, and having to spend time with my kids, and sometimes if you have a husband or something, sometimes it's nice to just get rid of all the distraction and just kind of no pressure and just listen to some H&B music and maybe to have some alcohol and see where things go from there.
The alcohol is key, right?
Sometimes that one's gonna loosen you up and gonna make you feel relaxed.
Uh-huh.
What kind of alcohol, when you're not training, what kind of alcohol you enjoy?
I'll drink anything, really. I just like to have a good time.
You're speaking my language now. I don't know if people know that you like to have a good time and drink a lot of alcohol. What about? So I guess for you, if it let's say you wasn't married, for you, I'm gonna make to you a cocktail which have it. It's gonna start with a base of Alizé.
Okay.
Okay, maybe the passion one, the yellow one, and then I'm gonna put some champagne in there. But the secret is I don't use expensive champagne. I use Bruch. I use the one. I use a Barefoot Bubbly, $3.99. Caray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're not gonna taste the diff because the Alizé is gonna cut the harsh taste of the cheap champagne. You understand?
I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that.
I think they call Thug's Passion. They have a song about that. Whatchamacall? Tupac Shakur have a song about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, where was I? So speaking of H&B and hip-hop and stuff like that, the kind of music I like to enjoy, I noticed that you like to dance, and you look like you really know how to dance. Like, you're an Asian chick, but you dance like a black girl or something like that. Where that came from? Or what's going on with that stuff?
Well, I grew up in the hood.
Caray, which hood?
In Aurora, Colorado.
That's a hood there. See, in Colorado, I always think about like the Marlboro Man is out there on the dusty mountain trails and stuff like that. They have the hood. They got black people in Colorado.
Yeah, well, growing up, Asian people were the minority, so the majority of my friends were black and Hispanic.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Now, did people thought you was like what? Now, are you Thai or Vietnamese?
Thai, half Thai, half American. My parents met in Germany. My dad was in the military.
Oh, I thought you was 100% Asian. Okay, so you have white.
Yeah, my dad. My dad's a white boy.
What's your dad's ethnic?
I think he's a little bit of everything, but mostly like white. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, caray. Well, white is a bullshit term. I mean, Italians don't consider themselves Irish, and everybody got their own stuff. You don't know which one is that one?
I think he has some British in him, some Irish in him. I think he has some Native American in him.
Oh, caray. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I myself, even though I come from here, my dad is like half African, and some native, and then my mommy is like she's white with blue eye and blonde hair, but she's Irish, Swedish, German, English mostly,
Yeah.
So I could just say she's white, but but it's you gotta pay homage, as the black people say. Yeah, they don't like to say homage. They say homage.
Homage.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband and I just got the Ancestry thing.
You always gotta sprinkle that one in there. Don't you hate that? Yeah, guys hate that. You at the bar and you're talking to a girl. You wasted like 45 minutes talking to this chick, and then she's in the middle of a story. She's like, "Oh my god, okay." And then my fiance and I was on a trail hiking in and you're like, "Oh my god." No,
you just wasted 45 minutes of your life.
Yeah, and then you an asshole if you excuse yourself from the conversation. So you gotta spend like another 2 to 3 minutes weaseling your way out of there, and trying to keep a poker face, like a shit-eating smile that it's not crushing you like heart. It didn't stab you in the heart when she said this. So you go, oh yeah, what a nightmare. Anyway, you were saying.
I was just gonna say that we got the thing to do our ancestry because I'm interested. I know that I'm mixed with so many different things that I'm just interested to see what the percentage of everything that I'm mixed with is. And
you didn't got the results yet?
No, not yet.
See, I'm scared of those one because usually when I'm doing a test like that, a DNA test, it's gonna end up with me losing a lot of money, porra.
That's what I'm saying.
I have an aversion to that once because I plead the fifth. I don't want to know if I'm the dad or whatever, or what kind of mixture the kid is. I don't care.
We've been holding back, because they told us that when you do those tests, that you're kind of signing away a bunch of rights, and they can use your DNA to search, to like input to like criminal database history and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that one, porra. Wow.
Well, that's why we've been holding off on it because we're not sure.
Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with. I'm gonna trust what my parents told me, caralho. You know. And then plus, I don't want to find out any other shit. Then I'm gonna have to get all excited about, whatever other shit I got in there and start trying to pretend I give a fuck about that. Well,
Exactly.
I feel some hustling going on the microphone.
Oh, is that better?
That is better. That's gonna be a nightmare for me in the editing home.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send you the files and make you to edit that one. God, I see how you like to sit in a dark room for 7 hours doing this shit.
Why does it have to be a dark room?
This is true. Touche. Well, no, because I like to turn the lights down and especially with the one that I'm listen to your voice and I'm drink.
With the Karate Hottie.
Yeah, with the Karate Hottie, and I'm gonna drink some brandy and listen to this one. And I'm really gonna check my time, edit this one.
Okay.
I don't do it all at once. I like to drag out the process, cara.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we was just talking about black people and you. Your ethnicity and dancing and stuff like that. So how did you met? When did you? What ethnicity is your husband? He looked like Chino.
Yeah, he's Mexican.
Oh, caralho, he's Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna send him back to Mexico, caralho. What part of Mexican he's from?
Well, he's Mexican American. He grew up in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, El Paso.
Mhm.
That's where they make the tortilla shell. Old El Paso, caralho.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So you met him. So when did you met him along the journey?
Oh gosh, it's been a long time. We've been together for almost 10 years now. But we just kept running into each other. I used to work at Hooters, and him and his friends used to always come in and they were, they always tried to hook us up, and I wasn't interested in dating anybody, especially from work,
Customers at Hooters, yeah.
Yes. And so I remember telling him one time, like, okay, yeah, like if I see you downtown, I'll save you a dance. I promise I remember your name. But I never really went out because I was always training. And
so you wasn't doing MMA at this point yet?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, for you? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think it must have been like 6 months, a year down the road, and I was DD for a friend of mine, and I went out and I ran into him.
Dungeons and Dragons or designated driver?
Designated driver.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And so I ran into him at night and at the club, and I didn't remember who he was, and he made sure to give me some crap about that because I told him I would. And
you said you would remember his name, let alone who the fuck he was. Wow, I would have, man, that's a blow to the ego.
Yeah, and so I felt bad, and once I remembered, I remembered his face. I just didn't remember his name, and so it was kind of like he took my number down, and I told him to come find me for a dance, and he shot me a text to make sure that I didn't give him the wrong phone number. And then, that's smart. And then once he realized I gave him the right number, then he left. He left me hanging. He didn't come back for a dance.
I like that. See, he had to do that. He had to do that. He had to
do that?
Yeah, he had to do that because you had to respect him. You had the upper hand when you didn't remember him, so he had to strike back. Or else you wouldn't have respect him. He would have been too thirst, and he couldn't have maintained the mystery and the masculinity, porra. I understand. He's a very shrewd customer. That one. What's his name again?
I mean, it worked. Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. And then how he did that? He waited a while and called him and say, hey, good seeing you, but don't get too excited from me, cara.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We ended up going on a date, and I remember telling him, like, you know, we could just hang out. This will be fun. We could just be like a fun thing, you know. I didn't want anything serious.
Of course.
I told him I didn't want anything serious, and I said, I told him, you know, because I have my fighting career and I need to focus on that, and he just started laughing, and I was like, what's so funny? He's like, that's usually the line I give the girls. You know?
True. Is he a fighter too?
He boxed for the Air Force.
Oh, okay, the Air Force boxing. So he helped you with your boxing sometime?
Yeah, he's been a big help with my boxing, and now he's doing Jiu-Jitsu. So
what belt is he?
He just started, so he's still a white belt.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, that's nice. I'm a black belt, but whatever. It don't matter. Either way, black and white is, you know.
You know, just opposites.
Yeah. Wow, black is beautiful, caralho. You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, experience, you know. But whatever, you know, white belt. It's probably enjoyable to be with a white belt, too, I guess.
Yeah, because then I can beat him up right now.
You're gonna put him in your triangle, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad. One thing I have to applaud him for is, you know, I see a lot of these guys. They have a beautiful young fighter girlfriend or whatever, or wifey, and then they put 7 to 15 kids in them, and I'm like, caralho, what are you doing? And like, you ever seen Kendall Grove? The guy have like 17 children, and he have a beautiful wife. I'm like, leave that fucking woman alone, porra. Do something. Get a Versace, you know? And he finally did that, you know, on my recommendation. Kendall finally got a Versace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 17 kids later?
No, I don't know how many he got, but he got like too fucking many. I mean, maybe like, for him, like, he probably have like 7 kids.
Wow.
I mean, enough is enough, porra.
Yeah, and that can get expensive.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why. And then you see this fucking guy doing bare knuckle jiu-jitsu match or whatever the fuck he's doing. I'm like, listen, you want to stop having to do all that shit? Chill out with the fucking kids over here.
Yeah.
I know they're beautiful and stuff, but his wife still look good throughout all that. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm stressed out with just one.
I can't imagine. I'm stressed out with just all the ones I have too. But the beautiful thing is I don't live with any of the ones.
How many do you have?
You know, I choose not to talk about that. I don't have kids and tell. You know,
Okay.
I just prefer to keep whatever's between me and my kids and my baby mamas is between us and our pastor and God.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that go. You know.
Okay.
So now I'm fascinated by this. How the hell that people from Thailand end in the black area of Colorado?
Well, because my dad was in the military, and so.
But your mom wasn't in the military, was she?
No. My parents met in Germany so my dad was stationed in Germany, and my mom
during the Vietnam War.
I don't think it was the Vietnam War. I think it was right before, like, Desert Storm, I think.
Oh, Desert Storm.
Mhm. And my mom was fleeing Thailand to get away from her ex-boyfriend, who was like really abusive.
Oh, caralho. Yeah, fleeing Thailand. Well, that sounds okay.
Mhm. And so she met my dad. My dad was in the hospital at the time. He like torn his knee or something like that. So my mom was basically like coming in to visit my dad and taking care of him, and you know, they ended up falling in love and they got married, and then the Army brought him to Colorado, and that's where I grew up.
So it was just arbitrary, like they just, wherever he went, you guys was gonna go there. So you was born in Germany?
Actually, I was born in Colorado Springs, and then we went back to Germany, and then my sister was born in Germany, and then we came back to Aurora.
Ooh, your sister. Now you have a lot of sisters, no?
I have one younger sister and an older brother.
Wait, I thought I saw you in a picture with like, maybe there was just relatives of you. Like I saw you in a picture with like a handful of chicks that look kind of similar to you, and I was like, oh, there's more of that ones. So there's only one sister.
Just one sister, and then I have a bunch of. I have a sister. It might have been the picture you saw with me, my sister, and my sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
Oh yes, because something was happening in Denmark when I look at the IG profiles, and then I see them with, you know, on the beach with their significant other or whatever. I said, what a hip off this is. If you remember in school when they say you bring some candy and they say, listen, if you didn't have enough for everybody, then don't bring that one.
Don't bring it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna show that ones to me, don't show that one.
Okay.
Caralho. So now let's talk about you. I'm fascinated by your nickname and the whole aspect because so you started. How did karate become part of your life?
Sorry, hold on. Douglas, come on.
Douglas.
Sorry, my dog. My dog's trying to get out. Douglas, come on.
I thought there was another. You have another lover over there.
Another man.
Yeah, named Douglas, and I have to worry about two of that one.
Yeah, I got two dogs.
Yeah, Douglas, get out of there, Douglas.
Well, I grew up, like I said, my parents, we kind of were, we came from like a blue collar family, you know, and I really wanted to do gymnastics, and my parents couldn't afford to do gymnastics. So I ended up, there was a karate class at the local community center. And so it was just something that all of us could do, and my parents could afford. So they put us in that, and it was just something we all fell in love with. I know we grew up watching like Mortal Kombat and Karate Kid, and so we wanted to be Ninja Turtles, you know. So.
Of course, yeah, I get it. Yeah, what age were you when you first went in there?
I was like 10 years old when I started.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, I ended up really falling in love with it and realizing that's something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And when I went to college, I wasn't happy. So,
what you went to college for?
I went to college for double major. I was double majoring in theater and sports science.
Ah, theater.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be an actress?
Well, I got a scholarship from it, and yeah, I did. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to be
like Mortal Kombat chick, like what's that chick's name with like I can't remember none of that chick's name. Sonya Blade or some shit like that.
Yeah, Sonya Blade, Katana, Chun-Li, any of those.
You know, your uncle Hanach was a voice on the or a couple voice on the Mortal Kombat PS3 game for her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm Cyrax and Kincharo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, through all the sounds you hear, all the like you know, there's like those cut scenes, those stories or whatever they show in the middle of the game and all that kind of shit. Like I had to do all this different like story stuffs and all the voices and shit. It's crazy that the whole process. You have to come up with every little sound you could possibly think of. Like if somebody hit you with a little shot, you know, like you know what I mean, and then you know, a big, you know, any kind of way you can get finished off, electrocute, all this kind of shit. It's crazy.
And they tell you, so you have to come up with all the different sound effects.
Yeah, and like, you know, you're being burned alive now. You're being shot to death. You know, all this kind of crazy shit.
What's the sound effect of being burned alive?
They kind of want you to be like, to elevate. I think they want you to be like, start out a certain way and then come. They go like like that kind of shit. And then they have like a one for the electrocution. It's like. Yeah, and by the time I was done with that fucking shit, I mean, you have to even make a sound for every, the vocal sound for your exertion on a jab, you know, like just a little, like that, like every little thing you could think of, thousands of little voice and shit, shit like that. So it was fun though, but I was drenched in sweat. the whole
Yeah,
time.
while you were doing the voiceovers.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get you all excited over
No.
here, but yeah, I was swatch. I had to take my shirt off halfway through the fucking thing. So imagine me, just shirt, no shirt, jeans. Anyway.
In the dark room.
Yeah, with my headphone on there, caralho. I look like Keith Swatch. You know? Make it last forever. You remember that song, Make It Last Forever?
How does it go?
Make it last forever. Don't let our love go. And then it's like, make it last forever. You tell your husband to put on some Keith Swatch next time you're hanging out.
Okay, I will.
Next time you're doing private time without the baby there, you know? So you have to add some Keith Swatch. What's your favorite? Okay, so speaking of music, like what's your, the people want to know more about you. Like what's your favorite, what's your like top 5 hip hop album?
I don't know. I'm not. I love to listen to all sorts of music, but I'm not.
You're not a big hip hop head?
No, I like to listen to hip hop. I just I'm not a picky person when it comes to different kind of music. Whatever music's on, I like to jam to.
Well, that's nice. I like that because I hate when I'm trying to play the stuffs. I like to control the DJ. You know, I don't want her going, "Oh, did you hear this fucking one?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to hear that one. Listen to this shit." You know. So you don't have a couple favorite rapper that you like?
Yeah, I kind of just, like you said, I let my husband take over when it comes to that.
Okay,
you know.
Well, what's his favorite ones then, porra?
He likes to listen to a lot of like
narco corridos, Mexican stuff.
Mexican, yeah, like Mexican salsa.
Does he put on the kind of stuff that goes like bum 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 bum? Ay, la la bonita. Yeah. That's that paisa shit. Does he do those paisa dance for you?
He likes to listen to like the reggaeton more so.
Oh, the reggaeton, like the gasolina. So he like Puerto Rican sounding stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I prefer the Puerto Rican salsa if I'm gonna listen to Puerto Rican stuff.
Mhm.
You know, that like that kind of like more 70s salsa. You know, that like New Yorkican stuff. So I like that. Where you got like conga drums and shit like that.
Yeah, anything with a good beat, I like to listen to. Stuff that's too aggressive for me, like when I'm training, it just puts me in too much of a mood to not flow, you know.
Okay, that's interesting. So you want to hear something that you can kind of like you kind of just like like flow. You don't want to get into like a tense, angry place. You want to be in like a more of an open, flowing place.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I've tried it before where I was trying to be aggressive and thought that maybe that would help my fighting. But it's not, like, that's just not my style. I do the best when I'm flowing.
I understand that because I used to try to put in my competition. I used to try to put like some music to like that make me want to kill somebody. Like put on MOP or some crazy like some shit that's gonna make you want to tear somebody's head off. DMX, whatever. And then you find yourself you're working yourself up to a frenzy, and then by the time you get to the competition, you're fucking already drained of your energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, take it easy here. Listen to some mellow shit. You want to relax. You're going to be hyped up anyway. Why hype yourself even more?
That's exactly it. I've done that before where I was so hyped, I was jumping up and down in the back, and I totally, like, just blew my wad, I guess.
Yeah, blow your wad. What a tasteful expression. Yeah.
Before I got the chance to get into the octagon.
Yeah, and it's like all that stuff is really just trying to mask the fear, I think,
Exactly.
And it's like it maybe just be honest with the fact that okay, we are nervous, we are do have fear, but fuck it, it's okay. Let's relax.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as the fights start, I'm gonna ramp it up regardless because that's just the way I go.
Yeah.
So if I start cool and calm, then I can see things more clearly.
Yeah, absolute. I mean, because that's the way it is in a street fight. The same way. It's like the more angry and crazy you want to kill the fucking person, the more you just got no technique.
Yeah.
And you can't see straight.
That's something my professor told us, because he was trying to get some of the students to compete in the tournament, and he's like, "Why aren't you competing in the tournament?" And they would say, "Oh, well, I haven't been training for this competition." And he's like, "Well, you've been training Jiu-Jitsu for the last 6 years. What do you mean you haven't been training?"
Yep.
And he'll say, like, if you're on the street and somebody attacks you, you're not going to tell them to hold on because you haven't been training.
That's very true. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And I think people try to prepare for a competition. I think they try to hype themselves up to prepare for a competition in a different way than they train normally most of the time. And it's like, why not just try to treat it like how you train it? I mean, that way you're used to it. You know what to do. You don't when you go training and sparring, you don't sit there listening to crazy shit and punching yourself in the face and jumping up and down doing cartwheel and backflips. Just fucking relax and go in there,
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I've definitely had to understand and just let it flow, to not make it bigger. I think that's what helped me the most in this last fight is, like, yes, there's a lot of pressure, and this fight can determine a lot of what's going to happen next in my career. But if I just put it in the context that it's just another day in the office, I do this every day. I go and I train and I spar, and it's the same thing as walking into that cage and sparring. So if I just looked at it that way, then I could go out there and just be myself and enjoy the process.
That's it. Yeah, you got to do it that way. I envision, if I was, let's say I was to train you for your next fight, I feel like I see a vision of us in the training room, and instead of everybody in there hitting pads and stuff like that, it's just you and me in there, and we're gonna dim the light. And I can imagine to put some Sade, and maybe an inset we're gonna have, and then that stretch where both our feet is touching and we kind of like legs doing a V, and we're grabbing each other's hand, and I pull you this way, you pull, and we're just breathing and we're just listening to the
Sade.
Yeah, to the Sade, and also to maybe the beating of our heart. Something like that. I mean, it's just, maybe that's just me, but I can imagine that to happen. And then I imagine maybe we giggle because one of us start to play footsies, and the other big Cho is chickle the other one, and then we have like a moment of, just kind of looking like, yeah, look at us. Can you imagine how do we found each other? Something like that. Yeah. I feel the same way, Michelle. I know what you mean. Wow. What a treat this is for you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Of course. Now, did you imagine when you first met me that we would actually be, you would actually got a chance to be on my podcast a couple years later?
I didn't. I thought that was like so far away, but I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, it's like, wow, dream can come true. Even a chai half white, half chai lady from a black area in Colorado saw her dreams to came true.
Yeah, it's something I can check off my list.
Well, yeah. And so now, when how this happened? So you went from Karate. Who gave you the Karate Hottie name?
Well, when I was working at Hooters, I would do a lot of photo shoots, and I was doing traveling, and I was in the Cayman Islands doing a photo shoot with for the Hooters calendar, and I met a guy, and he owned a company called Bikini.com, and so he had models on his website, but he would theme them, so it would be like the Crussian Russian and the sports fanatic, and he found out that I did karate, so he was like, I'd love to feature you on my website, we can call you the Karate Hottie. It's catchy, and we can do a photo shoot. And so
it was
like,
catchy.
Sounds like fun.
It was catchy. That's one of the best nicknames. That's definitely one of the best. You can't forget that one.
Exactly.
I knew that name before I ever knew who you were. You know, before I ever had a face to it, I would hear, oh, Karate Hottie, and I can't remember who it was, but I was doing some kind of podcast, and I guess it didn't ended up happening. Maybe it did, but they was gonna put me on the same episode of a podcast. Because I was like, who else is going to be on that one? And they were like, oh, well, the Karate Hottie. And I was like, oh, the Karate Hottie. God, you know, like, but I didn't even know what you looked like or whatever. So that name definitely did, you know, did what it was supposed to do, you know. And then karate, look now all this time later. What style of karate was it?
It's American freestyle karate.
American freestyle karate. That sounds like the guy made that one up at the YMCA for her. Was that like Chai Bo, like Billy Blank?
No, you know, I think it was, I wouldn't say it was made up, but he had a lot of different martial arts background as well. He learned Taekwondo. He was actually a boxer, and he knew, and he also did karate, and so his style was more, it was just kind of like a mixture, kind of like what MMA is now.
So he was also a rapper, or what, he used to freestyle while he did this stuff?
What do you mean freestyle?
He used to do a freestyle rap, like when they do the, you know, just the lyrics off the top of their head?
Oh, no.
Why a freestyle?
No. But he would like freestyle our forms and stuff, just depending on our styles. Like, so if I was more flexible and better with my kicks, he would create a form for me that would display my kicks. And if somebody else was better at punching.
So when you say forms, you're talking about like the kata.
Mhm.
Ah, okay. And then maybe he's gonna play some freestyle music. He's gonna put some Lisa and Colt Jam under there. Some Stevie B for her. I like that. He's a forward thinker, that guy. What ethnicity was this gentleman? Puerto Rican?
No, he was white.
It was white, carajo. Just like your father. Maybe there was a connection there.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I grew up doing karate because my father was, you know, a karate champion growing up. Both my parents was black belt. My mommy was one of his students.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I grew up around that stuff.
What style karate?
Goju karate. If you ever seen, you know, sometime I take a picture of my shirt off and stuff like that. If you ever seen that, I have a chachu on my high arm that have like the fist, the Goju fist there. It's one of the main style of karate before people came and started mixing it with Stevie B and Lisa and rap music and Taekwondo, acrobatic kicks and stuff like that. It was the original stuff. But I digest. That's either here and there.
I would do all the flippy fancy kicks too.
I can imagine. And you probably was one of those kind of chick who had like you put with the kata, you put like the songs from Mortal Kombat or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And you looked up to Ernie Hayes Jr. and whatnot.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I had a huge crush on him when I was a kiddo.
Of course, I'm sure there's a lot of the girls like that guy. Also, they like the guy from The Last Dragon. You remember him?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would watch that movie Only the Strong with
Oh no, with the guy from Iron Chef?
Yes.
I was very upset about that because they needed to have a capoeira hero, and your Uncle Henach was the #1 full contact capoeira champion in Brazil for like 7 years in a row, and they didn't choose me. They chose the guy from Double Dragons and also the Iron Chef for her.
So that was supposed to be your role.
Well, you know, it's funny how stuffs work out because look at me now, and then look at the guy from the Iron Chef.
The Iron Chef.
Yeah. So look what I'm doing. He's not with the Karate Hottie right now. I don't think. So something worked out onto my favor.
Yeah, I would say so.
I want you to subscribe.
Subscribe. Hey, I'm not joking about that subscribe, okay?